Hey everyone, welcome back to Daily Breakout, where we dive deep into the real talk about relationships, dating, and everything in between. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join our amazing community. We talk about all things love, life, and how to navigate the sometimes tricky world of dating. Today, we're tackling something that affects everyone at some point, those subtle, sometimes surprising, behaviors that can make a guy lose interest faster than you might realize. Avoid these 10 things that make man back off. You might think you've got everything under control, but even the smallest habits or attitudes can send the wrong signals. The crazy thing is, most of the time, people aren't even aware they're doing these things. Some of these points might really catch you off guard, but trust me, they're worth knowing. Whether you're here to level up your dating game, understand your partner better, or maybe just curious about what really goes on in a guy's mind, this video is for you. We're covering everything from unexpected behaviors to attitudes that can push a guy away, and let's be real, we've all been guilty of at least one of these at some point. So grab a coffee, sit back, and stick around because you don't want to miss out on these eye-opening tips. By the end of this video, you'll have a clearer picture of what to avoid and how to keep things smooth in the relationship department. Let's jump right in with the first one, constant negativity. We all know that life has its ups and downs. Things don't always go the way we want them to. It's totally normal to vent about a bad day or share frustrations with your partner. But when negativity becomes the default mode of communication, it can really take a toll on the relationship. Imagine spending time with someone who is constantly complaining about their job, their friends, or even small inconveniences. Over time, the negative energy starts to weigh down the entire dynamic. No matter how positive or optimistic someone is, it's difficult to maintain that energy when they're surrounded by constant negativity. Guys tend to be drawn to a partner who can roll with the punches, see the brighter side, or at least balance out the tough moments with a little hope or humor. It's not about ignoring reality, but about not letting the negative completely overshadow everything else. A positive outlook is attractive because it shows resilience, confidence, and an ability to handle life's challenges without getting stuck in a negative loop. When that's missing, it can create a draining environment, and for many guys, that can be a big turn-off. Positivity is contagious and so is negativity. So, it's important to be mindful of how your outlook can impact not just yourself, but your relationship as well. Next up is excessive jealousy. Now, a little bit of jealousy here, and there's completely normal. It can even be flattering in small doses because it shows you care. A guy might feel appreciated when he sees that you're protective of the relationship. But there's a fine line between healthy jealousy and the kind that quickly spirals into something more controlling or obsessive. When jealousy becomes constant, like questioning who he's texting, wanting to know his every move, or feeling insecure anytime he talks to another woman, it can create tension and distrust. Over time, this kind of behavior can make a guy feel like he's being monitored or that he can't do anything without being scrutinized. Instead of feeling flattered, he might start feeling smothered or like he's walking on eggshells. Trust is the cornerstone of any healthy relationship, and excessive jealousy can seriously undermine that. Without trust, it's hard for a relationship to grow or feel secure. The truth is, a guy is far more likely to stay invested when he feels trusted and respected, rather than feeling like he constantly has to prove himself. So, while it's natural to feel jealous sometimes, it's important to keep it in check and communicate openly if something is bothering you. Otherwise, too much jealousy can quickly push a guy away and make him question whether the relationship is really built on trust. Lack of ambition is another big one that can turn a guy off. Most guys are naturally drawn to someone who has goals, drive, and a sense of purpose. Ambition doesn't necessarily mean you need to be aiming to become the next CEO or have your entire life planned out. But having personal goals and the motivation to work towards something shows that you care about your future. It can be something as simple as pursuing a hobby, advancing your career, or just wanting to improve yourself in some way. When someone is coasting through life without much direction or ambition, it can come across as a lack of interest not just in their own future, but in building a future together. Ambition signals that you're forward-thinking and willing to grow, both individually and as a partner. On the other hand, if it seems like you're stuck in neutral, it may lead a guy to wonder whether you're invested in your own growth or the relationship. In a healthy partnership, both people should inspire each other to reach their goals and become better versions of themselves. When ambition is absent, it can feel like one person is carrying all the weight of planning for the future, and that imbalance can lead to frustration or even resentment over time. A guy who's working hard toward his own goals will often want a partner who shares that same level of drive, even if the goals themselves are different. So, while you don't need to have your entire life figured out, showing that you have ambition and the desire to keep moving forward is a big part of maintaining attraction. We can't forget about poor hygiene, and while it might seem like an obvious one, it's so important that it deserves a mention. Personal hygiene is crucial in making a good impression, especially in a romantic relationship. Whether it's bad breath, unkempt hair, or not taking care of basic cleanliness, poor hygiene can quickly become a deal breaker, no matter how great your personality is. Taking care of your hygiene signals that you respect yourself and the people around you. Simple things like showering regularly, brushing your teeth, and maintaining a clean appearance can go a long way in making someone feel comfortable and attracted to you. On the flip side, if you're consistently neglecting these basic things, it can be hard for someone to overlook that. For guys, poor hygiene can be a major turnoff because it suggests a lack of self-care or consideration. Imagine going on a date, and instead of focusing on the conversation or connection, all he can think about is your bad breath or the fact that you didn't put in the effort to freshen up. It's not just about physical attraction either, it's about feeling comfortable and at ease around you. Good hygiene is a sign of respect in a relationship, and when it's missing, it can make intimacy and closeness feel awkward or unappealing. So while it may seem like a no-brainer, maintaining good hygiene is absolutely essential for keeping the attraction alive. Now, let's talk about being overly critical. This one can really sneak up on you because sometimes we don't even realize we're doing it. But constantly pointing out flaws, whether it's in yourself, other people, or even in him, can make you come off as harsh, judgmental, or even negative. It's one thing to give constructive feedback, but when every conversation feels like a critique session, it can really wear a guy down. Think about it. No one likes to feel like they're being evaluated or that they can never measure up. When you're overly critical, it can create a tense, uncomfortable vibe that makes a guy feel like he's walking on eggshells. And let's be real, if you're always picking at every little thing, the relationship starts to feel more like a job interview than a partnership. On the flip side, guys really appreciate someone who brings a positive vibe and a supportive attitude to the table. When you're encouraging and uplifting, it creates a much more attractive energy that keeps the connection strong. So, instead of focusing on the flaws, try highlighting the things you admire about him, or even the things you love about yourself. It's all about creating a balance between honesty and positivity. Remember, nobody's perfect, and a guy is way more likely to stick around if he feels like you've got his back rather than constantly pointing out what he's doing wrong. Next up, we've got arrogance, and trust me, this one is a major turnoff. Confidence, absolutely attractive. But when it crosses the line into arrogance, that's where things start to fall apart. Confidence means being sure of yourself, knowing your worth, and carrying yourself with pride. Arrogance, on the other hand, is when you make it all about how much better you think you are than everyone else, including him. No one likes feeling like they're being talked down to or belittled. When you're arrogant, it's not just about showing confidence. It's about putting others in a position where they feel small or unimportant. And let's be honest, who wants to be around someone who always has to be the smartest, the best, or the most impressive person in the room? Guys are drawn to women who are self-assured but also humble. It's all about finding that balance. Being confident means you know you've got amazing qualities, but you don't need to constantly prove it by overshadowing others. Arrogance, on the other hand, pushes people away because it creates a barrier where true connection should be. So, if you catch yourself feeling the need to one-up him or anyone else in the conversation, take a step back and ask yourself, am I being confident or am I crossing over into arrogance? Trust me, that little check-in can make all the difference in how you come across and how attractive you remain in his eyes. Speaking of balance, let's talk about being overly dependent. While it's completely natural to lean on each other in a relationship, that's what partnerships are all about. There's a fine line between healthy dependence and feeling suffocated. Nobody wants to feel like there's someone's entire world or that they can't breathe without them around. When you rely on a guy for everything, whether it's emotional support, making decisions, or even filling your social calendar, it can start to feel overwhelming. Everyone needs their space, independence, and time to do their own thing. A healthy relationship thrives on mutual support, but also on the freedom to be individuals. Guys appreciate a partner who is self-sufficient and confident in her own life. It shows that you're with him because you want to be, not because you need him to complete you. Being overly dependent can create pressure, and that pressure can push him away faster than you'd expect. So, while it's great to rely on each other in certain ways, make sure you're also giving him and yourself room to grow as individuals. That balance between closeness and independence is what makes a relationship truly strong and keeps the attraction alive. Another surprising turnoff is a lack of humor. Let's face it, having a good sense of humor is one of the key ingredients in any strong relationship. Life can be tough, and if you can't share a laugh together, things can start to feel a little too heavy and serious. Humor helps lighten the mood, creates fun memories, and even strengthens the bond between you and your partner. When you can't joke around or find joy in the little moments, it can make the relationship feel more like a chore than a partnership. Guys love being with someone who can laugh at life, laugh at themselves, and even share those goofy inside jokes that only the two of you understand. That kind of connection makes everything easier, especially when life throws challenges your way. On the flip side, if you're always serious or can't enjoy lighthearted moments, it might make him feel like there's no room for fun. Being able to laugh together is a sign that you're comfortable, confident, and open to enjoying life. So, don't be afraid to show your playful side. Sometimes, sharing a simple laugh can be more powerful than any deep conversation. Next on the list is dishonesty, and trust me, this one's a deal breaker. Whether it's lying about the small stuff or the big things, dishonesty has a way of chipping away at trust faster than almost anything else. Once trust is broken, it's incredibly hard to rebuild, and no healthy relationship can thrive without it. It might seem harmless to tell a white lie here or there, but even those little fibs can add up over time. If a guy starts to feel like he can't rely on what you're saying or that you're hiding things from him, he's going to question everything. And that's when the connection starts to break down. Honesty is the foundation of any strong relationship, and when it's missing, even the best chemistry can fall apart. Guys appreciate openness and transparency. It shows respect and builds a sense of security in the relationship. So, whether it's something small or a more serious issue, being upfront and honest is always the better route. Because once dishonesty sneaks in, it can be really hard to come back from that. Talking too much about exes is another major turnoff that can really kill the vibe. No guy wants to feel like he's constantly being compared to someone from your past. When the conversation keeps circling back to your ex, it can make him wonder if you're truly over that relationship, or worse, if you're still holding on to unresolved feelings. Bringing up your ex too often can create an uncomfortable dynamic where he feels like he's competing with a ghost. It can also give off the impression that you're still stuck in the past, which isn't exactly the best way to build a future with someone new. A little background on past relationships is fine. It helps to understand where each of you is coming from, but when it becomes a regular topic of conversation, it can send the wrong message. Guys want to feel like they're your focus in the present, not like they're living in the shadow of someone else. So, keep the ex-talk to a minimum and focus on creating new memories with the person you're with now. So, there you have it, 10 surprising things that can be real turn-offs for guys. Remember, it's all about balance, being mindful of how you present yourself, and staying true to who you really are. No one is perfect, and that's okay. Relationships are all about growing and learning together. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. You never know who might need to hear this. Now, here's where I want to hear from you. Which one of these surprised you the most? Or do you have any other turn-offs that you think should have made the list? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get the conversation started. I love reading your perspectives, so don't be shy. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more relationship tips and insights. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.